Let's take a trip back to Buffett's early investment years. The investment case of Sanborn Maps is a classic, fully demonstrating his outstanding investment vision and bold decision-making ability. At that time, Sanborn Maps was in trouble amid the wave of industry consolidation, with its customer base shrinking and its stock price plummeting far below its book value. However, Buffett keenly perceived the huge business opportunity hidden behind this. He discovered that if the company's asset portfolio were liquidated, each share would generate a profit of up to $65. This discovery convinced Buffett that this was an almost risk-free money-making opportunity. Thus, he did not hesitate to involve his entire family and raise funds from all sides, all for the purpose of obtaining a seat on the company's board of directors and thereby promoting the asset liquidation plan. After 6 months of relentless efforts, Buffett was successfully elected as a board member of Sanborn Maps. However, when he proposed the plan to liquidate the asset portfolio to release value, he was rejected by the other board members. It turned out that most of these members held insufficient shares and were merely a group of parasites, exploiting the company's resources for personal gain. Facing this setback, Buffett did not flinch. He defied his mentor Benjamin Graham's advice on diversification and boldly purchased more shares of Sanborn Maps, gaining control of the company. Eventually, Buffett successfully pressured the board to agree to split the company, and he reaped a substantial 45% investment profit. This investment not only gave Buffett his first taste of success, but also strengthened his resolve to continue in the investment field. Buffett's investment wisdom did not come overnight. It is closely related to his family background and growth experience. He was born into what seemed to be a prosperous family, with his grandfather running a successful grocery store and his father, a stockbroker, living a comfortable life. However, the Great Depression struck like a heavy blow, instantly shattering the family's prosperity. Howard Buffett, Buffett's father, lost all his property in this economic disaster and fell into hardship. But Howard was not defeated by the difficulties. With his sharp business acumen and decisive decision-making, he quickly adjusted his strategy and began to focus on selling safe stocks to help clients protect their assets. His honest and principled business approach set a good example for Buffett, planting the seeds of integrity and prudent investment in his heart. However, the family was not all positive influences. Buffett's mother had a family history of mental illness, casting a shadow over Buffett's childhood. She would often suffer from inexplicable headaches, and whenever this happened, she would become extremely irritable and verbally abuse Buffett and his sister. This harsh family environment made the young Buffett extremely introverted and afraid to interact with others. He could only find inner order and security by collecting stamps and bottle caps. As he entered his teenage years, the pressure from the family, the unfamiliar environment, and his mother's continuous abuse led Buffett down a rebellious path. He began to skip classes, associate with delinquent teenagers, and even engage in theft and fraud. It was not until one day that Howard Buffett, Buffett's father, noticed his son's changes. He sternly told Buffett, "You can do better." These words were like a wake-up call, making Buffett deeply realize his mistakes. He knew that his father had high hopes for him, and his behavior had greatly disappointed his father. From that moment on, Buffett made up his mind to reform and vowed never to disappoint his father again. This experience became a crucial turning point in Buffett's life. He began to re-examine his life and strive to find his future direction. Even before making a name for himself in the investment field, Buffett had already demonstrated extraordinary business talent. When he was young, he earned a considerable income by delivering newspapers and also owned a pinball machine. He cleverly persuaded the local barbershop to place his pinball machine there, earning additional profits. Moreover, He was highly sensitive to numbers and good at calculating odds, and made some money by participating in horse races. By the time he graduated from high school, he had earned $5,000 through these investments, which was no small sum at that time, equivalent to about $50,000 today. At his father's suggestion, Buffett went to the Wharton School for further study and later to Columbia University, where he had the privilege of studying under investment master Benjamin Graham. Graham's value investment philosophy deeply attracted Buffett, who firmly believed that by finding undervalued stocks in the market and controlling risks, he could make substantial profits. During his time working at Graham's company, Buffett served as a stock analyst, mainly responsible for identifying those cigar but companies that were overlooked by the market and had low stock prices, but still had some value. This work experience not only greatly enhanced his investment skills, but also allowed him to accumulate valuable funds. By this time, his wealth had reached $19,000, which is equivalent to about $200,000 today. Among them, the investment in Rockwood Chocolate Company once again demonstrated Buffett's unique investment vision and bold decision-making style. At that time, Rockwood Company was in financial trouble due to the soaring price of cocoa beans, but the company had a large inventory of cocoa beans. Buffett and Graham discovered that if they sold these cocoa beans directly, the company would have to pay a high tax, which would significantly reduce profits. When everyone was worried about this problem, Jack Pritzker proposed a clever solution: to exchange the cocoa beans for the company's shares. Graham thought this was an excellent arbitrage opportunity, but Buffett went even further. He believed that Pritzker's willingness to buy the shares at a high price indicated that the company had great potential. So he took a bold risk and invested 75% of his savings in Rockwood Company's shares. As it turned out, Buffett's judgment was correct. With the changes in the market, Rockwood Company's stock price soared from $36 to $85, and Buffett successfully netted over $13,000, which is equivalent to about $144,000 in 2022. However, life is not always smooth sailing. After Graham retired and dissolved the partnership, Buffett faced a difficult career choice. With his qualifications and abilities, he could have easily found a high-paying job on Wall Street. But he made an unexpected decision to return to his hometown of Omaha and start his own investment business. After returning home, Buffett established an investment partnership. Through Graham's introduction, he met many wealthy investors who had great faith in his investment abilities and entrusted their funds to him. Buffett knew that to achieve continuous success in the investment field, he had to find unique investment opportunities. He turned his attention to the pink sheet market, where most of the companies traded were not listed on the stock exchange and had low stock prices. Although there were many scams in this market, Buffett believed that there were hidden treasures overlooked by the market. After careful research and screening, he discovered National American Insurance Company. This company had once been a scam, but through years of legal operations and changes in management, it had transformed into a legitimate enterprise. However, many shareholders were unaware of the company's changes and still believed that their shares were worthless. Buffett and his team spared no effort to visit these shareholders in person and acquire their stocks at a low price. Through this approach, Buffett made substantial profits for himself and his investors. He also applied the strategy of buying at a low point to more obscure companies. In the first 5 years of the investment partnership, he achieved a 100% annual return rate every year, creating a miracle in the investment world.